welcome to my channel. This is Bhargavi from Cinderella Brides. This is a brand new channel. This is basically a place if you want to start your own business, if you wanted to create a side hustle, if you've ever thought about leaving your job. I'm here to bring you weekly motivation, self-development, mindset hacks so you can live your best life. So let's get started. I'm going to give you a little bit of my backstory. I have been officially unemployable for about 2.5 years now. I left my full-time career of 13 years at a huge $1 billion corporation. Like, if you were gonna work, this was a great job. I worked from home, had a corporate expense account, corporate credit card. I got to travel, had a great boss. It was a great place to be, but it just was not fulfilling my inner desire to just have more freedom, own my own hours, and be able to be creative and just do whatever I wanted to do on a daily basis. And that's so if you're sitting there and you're thinking about leaving your job, I want to give you 7 tips on things that you want to think about and kind of prepare for before you actually decide to leave your job. So with that being said, let's get started. Tip number 1 is to figure out what your side hustle is and start a side hustle. So for me, it was, I was working full time, and then I decided, I got married and I really struggled with finding a good makeup artist, and I loved beauty. This is going back 14 years now, but I loved makeup, I loved skincare, I loved beauty, and I decided to just delve my hands into starting a little beauty business and doing makeup application for my friends. A lot of them at the time, they were getting married, so it was just kind of an easy transition. For you, whatever it is, I think that if you're gonna create a side hustle, make sure it's something that you like to do, that you're creative about, or it's gonna fulfill your creativity, it's gonna fulfill your desires, your energy, you're gonna be passionate about it, I guess, is a really good way to think about it. If you are passionate about it, it's gonna be easier to work at it in the evenings, on the weekends, on your spare time when you're not at your job. So tip number 1, create a side hustle. Tip number 2, make sure that side hustle is sustainable. And what I mean by that is make sure that side hustle is sustainable in the sense that, is it going to be something that you're going to be able to do that's eventually going to replace what you're doing full time at your job? Because if you're watching this video and you were like me, I used to watch tons of videos, blogs. I wanted to listen to everybody's different experiences out there of how they actually quit their 9 to 5 and what their mindset was and the thought process behind that. And so if you're like me, figure out if that side hustle would be sustainable. For me, I didn't think it was going to be. I just loved to do it. It was a way for me to make extra money and take that extra money and invest or do something else that would help me. And so that's another jumping point. It could be your side hustle, could be something that's going to help you to diversify your income and make more income in order to invest into something else, whether it be real estate, whether it be stocks, the market, whatever. Okay, so that's tip number 2. Is your side hustle something that you can, is it going to be sustainable? Okay, so tip number 3, reduce your expenses and save as much money as you can. This is what's going to really help you to identify if you actually can sustain whatever extra money you're making and diversify and speed up the time that's going to take you to leave your full-time job. So reduce expenses. So all those non-essential things, for me, it was the shopping, the going out to dinners, and extravagant birthday presents and lots of vacations. I delayed gratification for a few years. And I've learned that from my mentors. Do what most people don't do, so you can live tomorrow how most people don't live. And for me, that word was freedom. Being able to be free, not have those Monday, I don't know if you work corporate, but Monday morning calls, Monday all day calls, having that performance review, that was not the type of lifestyle I wanted to live. And so I was okay with, giving and delaying a little bit so that I can have more freedom down the road. So that's my tip number 3. Tip number 4, divert your non-productive time. We all have 24 hours in a day, okay? If we spend 8 hours sleeping, if we spend 8 hours working, a lot of success coaches and good books that I've read talk about what you do with the rest of the 8 hours you have left in your day is going to determine what your success in life is gonna look like. So give up the social time, give up your scrolling on your phone for a little bit, give up the time that you spend, you know, hanging out or partying or just anything that's not gonna help you to reach the goal that you have. Give that up temporarily so you can achieve it and do all those things that you wanna do a lot quicker and a lot sooner, okay? So re-divert your non-productive time. Tip number 5, put in the work. Let's face it, in a society that we live in today, it's like instant gratification. People think we live in like a microwave generation where people are like, yeah, I'm gonna start this project and immediately I'm gonna become successful. And really success, true success in anything takes a minimum of 10,000 hours worth of work. Do you know what 10,000 hours is? That's a lot of time. That's about, if you put in like a regular span, it's like 5 years of like nonstop going at something, which mind you, like it won't take you 5 years to succeed, but it will take you consistent, persistent effort and really putting in the work. Real success, I remember when I started my business, I was like working my 9 to 5, coming home, or if I was at home already, you know, taking care of my responsibilities because I was already a mom and married and had all those other responsibilities. And at night after 6 o'clock to like 11, 12, 1 a.m., I was building my business. And that's like how you're gonna succeed, is you're gonna put in that work, put in the hustle, the grit, the grind. Your weekends, like your free thinking moments are gonna be spent working on whatever passion project, your side hustle, whatever it is that you're doing, you need to put in the work. Tip number 6 is, what is your number? What is your desired income number? And so that's tip number 6. What do you think you need? How much do you need to earn in order to replace your full-time income? And what other side hustles are you doing that are gonna pull in to help you do that? So you're saving money, you're re-diverting your time, you're working hard, but what is your number? What is that number for you? Because I found that when I figured out what that number was, when I added up all my expenses, I added up my, you know, entertainment, like the extra stuff outside of like my, you know, must-have expenses, my fixed expenses, and then my variable expenses, and then my extra spend money, I figured out a number that was like the number for me, and then I was able to work backward from that number and really figure out what actions I needed to take, what goals I needed to hit along the way in order to reach that number. And that's really like how I set the goal. And I set, you know, I was someone who was not afraid to continue resetting my goal of what that, you know, number was and what I needed, because through the years it changed, you know, as our kids grew and as our, you know, situation changed, that number changed also. So like, what's that number for you in the next year to 2 years? What is that number? Tip number 7, and the last tip, is set your goals and then work backward. And so think about the end date of when you want to leave your job. And now you already have your number, you have your fixed number for income, you know your side hustle, you know the work that it's going to need to take. Just start to work backward, but set that goal and plaster it everywhere. I had it on my phone. I use like a budgeting app called Mint. I had it there. I told people about it. I talked about it all the time, and not to my like boss or coworkers, but to my friends, my family. This is my goal. I want to, within the next year, you know, I'm looking to eventually replace my full-time income. I want to leave the job and run my business full-time. Speak life into that goal. So set the goal, speak life into that goal, write it down. When you write something down, chances are it's gonna come true a lot sooner than if you don't write things down. So write down that goal, put it out there, and just really work towards making it happen, because I'm a true testament. 2.5 years that I left my job, great corporate job, but I didn't need it anymore. And because, like, fast forward 2 years, and I have to honestly say, this is me like speaking like the reality. I wanted to make this type of video sooner. I wanted to share this sooner. I was afraid, like, what if like I'm putting this all out there and then it's not gonna work? And that's where fear sets in sometimes. And there's two things in life. There's fear and faith. They both can't live with it at the same time. So, you know, you have to continue to have the faith, which I did, but the fear would sometimes creep in. And, you know, I'm really happy to, like, even though I didn't do this sooner, I'm happy to share it now, because if you have a dream in your heart, if you have a passion to be able to, you know, leave your full-time 9-to-5 and be able to pursue whatever business or, you know, that you're passionate about and become your own business owner, become your own boss, you absolutely, I'm here to tell you, you absolutely can do it. For me, I wasn't one of those people that like just, you know, quit my job and then tried to figure it out later. I wasn't in a position where I could do that. There are people that maybe don't have as much responsibility. They didn't have as much. For me, it wasn't like that. I had lots of responsibility. So I had to make careful, calculated decisions on what I was going to be able to do and what I was not going to be able to do. And so that's why I basically really carefully planned exactly what I needed to do, how long it was gonna take, and what the end result was gonna look like. And I'm proud to say that I'm unemployable because of it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video and you'd like to see some more videos like this, just hit the subscribe button right down below. Add your comments below if you have an experience of when you quit your job or you're looking to quit and maybe this video helped you. Share some of that with me. I'd love to hear from you guys. And until next time, see you guys later. Have a great day. Be blessed.